Okay, anyways, so today we have something weird to show you, okay? So we have this cheapo Yamaha YPT 210. This was my sister's kind of practice keyboard. Nothing too special about the sounds, right? So let's hit up patch 82. Warm pad, right? So pretty cool. Now let's try it on our MIDI keyboard, right? Wait a second. Why isn't it playing the same patch? Well, I found out something pretty weird. The best way to describe this is actually this kind of has two not really synth, okay, I'm used to synths, but it's two keyboard engines in it. There's the one that has the default voices that you actually hear here. It goes through like 375. Well, that goes to the drum kits, but basically there's tons of sounds, right? But it only goes up to 128, but the sounds that you actually get going via MIDI are way different, and they do not match up with the sounds here. So that makes me believe it's a separate engine. Now, I actually have further evidence of this. If you hook it up to a sequencer, what it does is, if you hook it straight up to a sequencer, it'll only play the default patch on here. Even if you change the patch on here, it'll just play the grand piano patch on here. But if you first hook this up to this, and then you've enabled one of the custom patches from the second keyboard engine, it'll play that sound on here as long as you're on a single mode where it goes like only playing one at a time, not two notes. But if you have it play two notes at once, it's playing that sound you have on here, plus it's playing that default grand piano sound. So that really tells me that it's two engines somehow in there intertwined. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not that smart and stuff about MIDI, but that's the conclusion I've got. So enough of rambling. You kind of want to hear this. So I am going to provide a direct audio recording at the end of this video so you can hear it pure, but for the sake of ease, I will be talking while playing it, and you'll be hearing it through the little microphone on this camera, but there will be a better example provided afterwards. So let's start this out. You might say, it's kind of boring. Does it have anything cool? Well, here, this is kind of like a little synth patch, right? But let's try to get a synth patch on here. We have two kind of basic ones. We have a square lead. Now, searching through these patches, I didn't find any square leads on here. There might be one, because I think I might have skipped a couple while going through it. But the closest one I can find on here is going to be the saw lead. Doesn't sound bad, but it's nothing special. But, I mean, it sounds much better on here. The closest equivalent patch. There's some more I will get into. But another thing is, okay, this has reverb, but it doesn't really have anything else. No mod wheels, no nothing. Well, pitch bend works, modulation works. And of course you can access that reverb here from the controller, but what's weird is you can actually access a chorus. So what this makes me believe is that some of the patches have chorus added to them. Even though you can't control that chorus directly, it's still there, but this MIDI controller can pick it up and you can't get control of that chorus. Panning works, release works, decay is the only thing that doesn't work. Attack works, and it can actually get surprisingly long when you turn it fully up. Resonance actually works. It is a resonant filter built into that engine. I don't know how, but it is. Cutoff works too. So, enough rambling. Let's actually hear this. Now, I'm not going to do any professional playing. I'm just going to do a little bit of playing for you and some filter sweeping slowly, just to show you how interesting this little keyboard that nowadays you get one of these on sale for like $50 online, maybe on Craigslist. So yeah, let's hook this up. I'm gonna hook it up, yeah, so you can actually see that. Wait a second. Let's get something to prop that up. if that's gonna work. Yeah, that worked. So let's do a little filter sweeping. So right now we have the cutoff is all the way open. There's no resonance. There's no attack. The panning is straightforward. The release is in the middle. No reverb, no chorus. So now let's do a filter sweep. So first we gotta turn up our resonance. Pretty cool. Alright, now let's do our filter sweeping. Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta hold that, right? Sorry about the dirty nails. I was actually potting some plants from outside because went down to freezing and brought them in. Got some dirt under there. I needed to actually clip that, but I wanted to quickly get this video out there while I figured this out because I thought it was pretty cool and I wanted to just do it in the heat of the moment. So that's pretty cool. It's not all the way smooth because there's an indent at the very top, so you have to stop for like a millisecond. But it's pretty interesting. Let's throw some release on there. Beef that up really high. Let's throw some chorus on there. Let's dial down our release. We dialed down a little too much than I wanted. Okay. Now let's throw in some reverb. Speakers didn't like the lowest note being played. You heard some popping there. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. So let's get rid of that chorus, that reverb. Put our release normal, our cutoff all the way up. No resonance. Let's go up. Let's go up some patches. 83. Wait. 84. Now there's some more synth patches coming up on them. 87's kind of there, but 88's a good one. Sorry, I'm not a good player by any means. I usually sequence my stuff. That's actually why I'm selling this MIDI keyboard, because I don't find much use for it because I'm not really a player. Plus, it's fully weighted, and well, I'm not really used to fully weighted. Anyways, that's our bass patch. So let's dial in some resonance. See how there's a little bit of a delay before we get to the ending part of the sound? It's more noticeable in lower keys. So let's do a cutoff sweep of this patch. Now that made some air blow out of those speakers. The dog jumped right up from that one. Dial that down a little bit. Let's throw in some reverb. Listen how artificial that reverb sounds. Pretty cool and cheesy. Alright, that was a little fun. Now let's throw in some chorus on there. Dial down a reverb. A resonance. Let's put this to bass line. Let's see if just the chorus makes a difference. So. It's not really noticeable on some patches. I think some patches the chorus doesn't work. I've noticed that. Some you will be more noticeable. So let's go to a new patch here. Alright. Like a really lo-fi chorus sound. Not chorus is in the effect, but chorus is in like a choir sound. It's kind of weird how it went just straight to that. None of these patches are organized. They just jump all around. Pretty weird. So let's throw in some resonance on that. Throw in some cutoff. Well, let's just cut it off. Not really too much fun with that, but alright. Let's add some reverb to this. It might be like a cool sound for like a detective soundtrack, you know, like the spy sneaking around. Let's add some chorus to that. Not really much effect on that sound. So let's dial in a new patch here. I'm not going to make this video too much longer. Woo! It just fell right on there. Let's try to get like a sample. You know, like a quick. Yeah, but shorter. No. It's an interesting sound. Let's put the resonance all the way up and let's dial it off. It sounds really good with the resonance. Now let's make the release all the way up and our attack all the way up. Let's do this. Do a simple little chord here. Pretty fun. Dial down that attack. compressing this a little bit. Alright, that's fun and all. So now let's get to let's get to the little elephant in the room here, which was that little. Alright, let's fix this real quick. Let's change our patch here. Wait. Okay, so the elephant in the room was this little sequencer. Now I told you about the weird mashup. So now we're going to try to hook it up and we're going to try to keep our settings. So naturally this patch sounds kind of like this. Well, actually no, sorry. It sounds kind of like this, my bad. But we're going to try to get it to sound kind of like this. On here. So let's try this. So, sorry about that. I'm going to unplug this. Unplug. And what we're going to do is I'm going to hook this up to here via the little bits out cable. Hook it into the MIDI out. Then power this thing up. And turn it on. And let's just see if it actually kept those settings or if it reverts to normal. Let's turn the speed down slowly. Not the best patch, but it keeps the sound as we set it. Switch this pattern up a little bit. Now we don't have control, sadly, of that cutoff anymore, but I've proven that you can actually create a sound via your MIDI keyboard hooked up to this, access this engine, and you save that, and then you hook it up to this little sequencer, and it captures the sound just as you created it. It's a really cool MIDI hack. I don't know if anybody's done this before with this keyboard, but if you have, comment. But I found this really interesting, and actually might be a reason why I keep this little keyboard, because that's a really cool feature. Now if you do this correctly, and you don't have this keyboard set to its default settings, you can get both voices being the voice you created. But if you just hook this straight up without another keyboard to this, it's going to have the piano just playing, and if you hook it up straight away, make a simple sound, but you leave this on its default setting, it'll capture the piano with it. It all depends what settings, and there's some weird mumbo jumbo, spooky stuff going on that I still haven't figured out with this setup, but you get some pretty weird results. So let's change this up a little bit. I hope you enjoyed watching this short little video. And if you're new here, subscribe and check out my other videos, okay? That was fun.